Hey everyone, welcome to today's live stream. So my name is Shane, and I'm really excited to get into the topic I have today, which is the power of gratitude. Um, yes, gratitude. Gratitude is definitely something that I have noticed as I've been applying it in my life has just done so much for my own mental well-being, as well as just my relationships in life, as well as just in my business and finances, and just honestly every area of life can be supercharged with gratitude, the power of gratitude. um, so I wanted to touch on first, starting out, so just so we all know, what exactly is gratitude. So according to this definition that I looked up here, gratitude is a feeling of deep appreciation, right? It's a feeling. And then two, it has a positive emotion that involves a desire to thank another. Emotion. That's a big one. Just feeling and emotion, I think, is two words that really highlight what gratitude is. It's not just empty words that are spoken as far as just saying thank you. Like, we all know what a fake thank you sounds like, when you get a little kid gets a gift that they don't care about, and it's just kind of like they say thank you because their parents are forcing them to say thank you. So it's just kind of like, thank you. So that's not true gratitude. Gratitude comes from the soul. It's a feeling. And there's actually been studies done on how gratitude affects, like I said, just mental health and one's perspective on life. There's a study that was done where basically they took three groups of people. And so they had one group every day wrote out their problems, that they were dealing with, their challenges, their struggles. And then another group was writing out their gratitude. They were writing out things they were thankful for every day in a journal. And then they had a third group that just wrote like neutral things. And what they noticed in this study was the group that wrote out positive, great things they were grateful for actually showed significant signs in better mental health and well-being, self-esteem. They perceived things in a more positive light. And there was actually more than one study done. So there was like a study done on adults where that effect was found. And then someone else did a study with children, and it was the same thing. And they even noticed like the kids that were writing the positive things were even getting better marks in school and things like that. So gratitude can just really, like I said, just affect so many areas of our life. And I think the biggest one is just how we even perceive life. And that is to say a lot, because how we perceive life that is in front of us affects how we engage, the steps and the actions that we take, and how we handle the relationships that we're in, with friends and family and romantically and everything. And so that is what gratitude is. And as I talk about how it being like a superpower, I think it definitely can be used to just accelerate so many areas of life. So I do want to share a story, because I know that can help as far as really seeing what it can do. So one story I was thinking of, just thinking of my past and where I had practiced gratitude and where I really felt that it really improved my life, was when I was first starting out in my business 5 years ago. I was at a time in my life where I was living at that time. I was living in this, I was basically in a housing program for homeless veterans, because as I shared in like a previous video with my past story, like I was not technically home. Thankfully I never slept on the street, but I was at a point where I didn't have my own place, and I was couch surfing and things, and I didn't have any money, and it was just, things weren't good. And so I got into this housing program for military veterans, which I was very thankful for. And so again, as I say, thank you. But I just remember just feeling so much gratitude that I finally had like a place of my own space. Because like I'm an introvert, and it just felt so good having my own space, because as grateful as I was to not have to sleep on the street, it's not a good feeling to be sleeping on couches and, and not having my own space. And so that was the start. So I got my own space, but then along with that, I ended up getting a temp job during that time. And the job that I got was not glamorous. It was through the VA hospital. But basically, what I was doing is I was sorting through, what do you call it, recycling. So it was like every week I was at this, like, I was working at this medical recycling center. And so I was the only one there from the VA hospital. This center was actually for one of the major hospitals that was in Portland. But I just had my own station where I would just sort the VA hospital's recycling. So every week, this big dump truck would come and dump hundreds of bags of medical recycling from the hospital. And then my job was to go through these bags, and I would have to wear like gloves, like stick-proof gloves. And it was not glamorous, but like I would just be sorting through these bags and trash and, sorting out the plastic and all that stuff. But I just remember feeling every day when I woke up to go to this job, just feeling so grateful because this was allowing me the opportunity, right? It was a source of income that I did not have. And so I just remember feeling so grateful. So even though, let's say I was living somewhere that was not the best, but it was my own space, and I was able to live there rent-free in this housing program. So I just remember every day practicing gratitude as I would wake up in the morning in my bed there, and then walking to the job that I had at the recycling plant, saying thank you, thank you, thank you. As I'm walking every morning, I can still remember those memories of me walking down the street, practicing and saying thank you, and just feeling gratitude within my body. And even as I was like working the job, and so in that, I feel like that level of gratitude brought me to a place to where instead of me being in an attitude of just like, woe is me, and being depressed and, being upset with, like my lot in life or whatnot, because I was in that energy of gratitude, it allowed me to be in the energy to where I ended up, like I said, starting my own business. And as I started my business and started working on that, I felt the reason why it excelled as fast as it did and just like went out and totally started being super prosperous is every sale. When I started doing my business, I remember every single sale that would come in, I would say thank you. And then I just remember just feeling so much just excitement and joy and gratitude. And then I even remember like my coworkers at the time were really excited for me. So I remember every time a sale would come in, like I would have the notification on my cell phone, and I would like go running to them. It's like, I just got a sale, another sale came in. And then I just remember the joy of like each day, like maybe there'd be one sale, but then, maybe a couple of days there wouldn't be a sale, but then it just started building up. And the next thing you know, I still even remember the first time I got 10 sales in one day, because I remember I was like, me and my friend were like counting them through the day. I was like, oh, today, I think today's the day I'm going to get 10. I'm going to get 10. And I remember when that 10th sale came in for that day, running to my buddy, I was like, yo, look, I got my 10th sale. And so I do feel that energy is what really helped my business to grow and succeed, was just being grateful for everything. And I would, like I said, apply that in just all areas of my life, where I was working, the job that I had, and every little thing. Like I didn't have a car at that time, and I had like a bicycle. So I remember being so grateful riding the bike, it's just like, I have transportation, and just everything. And so that I feel really was the secret sauce to what led to the success of my business. And it's so funny as I think about through the years, as so many people have come up to me and asked, what was it that I did that brought the success, or how did I get successful? I know a lot of times I usually tell people what it was. Is, I focused, I took away distractions, I worked every day, I set goals, and those things are true. But I feel like if gratitude was not a part of that, I doubt that those things would have really amounted to anything. I feel gratitude really is just like the driving force and just the power that accelerated things to go in a favorable way. And I've continued to see that in other areas of my life through the years. And so one of the things I still do to this day every morning is I'm all about starting my morning with gratitude. So when I wake up, I actually start with like my affirmations, but then after I do my whole affirmations thing, I love being quiet, sitting still and then just really going within and just thinking about all the things I'm grateful for. And what I usually call it is I start every morning with what I call tears of gratitude. So it's like I said, it's not so much just saying thank you. Like I go so deep into just everything that I'm grateful for to the point to where tears are just running down my eyes. And I'm just like, thank you, thank you, thank you, and that's how I start every morning. Like I try to stay in tune with just that feeling of just deep total gratitude. And so yeah, so there's that. Another thing I wanted to add, if you are wanting to incorporate more gratitude in your life, a book that I highly recommend is actually by Rhonda Byrne. It's called The Magic. This is a really good one. It has like basically daily exercises that you could go through for like 28 days. But one of them that I'll go ahead and just talk about here that I found to be very helpful when I read and went through that book was every day for 28 days, you write out 10 things that you are grateful for. But the thing is, you can't repeat anything. So you will quickly realize as you go through each morning, you write out your 10 things that you're grateful for. And that's the other thing. So you write out what you're grateful for, but then you also put the reason why, So let's say, I am so grateful for, my heart, my heart. And then I would say because it provides life, it pumps the blood through my veins or, just whatever comes to mind, so with everything that you write down, so you write 10 things you're grateful for, and then make sure for each thing you put why you're grateful for it. And then also, then once you write out the 10, then you go back to the start and then you reread it. So let's say again, going to the example of the heart. So I am so grateful for my heart because it provides life to my body. And then once you finish the statement, you just really feel that. And then you just say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that, if you do that every day, oh my goodness, you will just see so much awesomeness come into your life. Like actually, and I'm saying that I think I need to redo that exercise because I just remember as I went through that, it's because one, I love the fact that it really helps you to dive deep because after a while, once you get through, I guess, more of the superficial stuff, you have to just go deep and just really take a look at your life of what you're grateful for and just realize how much is in your life, because it's so easy to get caught up in what we don't have or, and what we don't have or the things that we're striving for and seeing the lack. But it's such a awesome skill to learn to really focus on what you do have. And yeah, and when you do that, like I said, it's just so much opens up to you as you just really focus on the things that are going right and the things that are in your life. And you start to realize that you just have so much that you didn't even notice because you take for granted, right? Because it's always there, like your breath. Like right now, just breathe in. And just feel how amazing that is and how, breathing just comes naturally. And we tend to just believe that the next one is just going to be there. But, our next breath is not promised, or your heartbeat, just feel every heartbeat that beats. And just know how wonderful that is and that there's something beating your heart right now. And again, same with breath, that next heartbeat is not promised, but it's there right now. And just this moment is here right now. And just being grateful for this. Oh, that's some good stuff. So yeah, being in that energy. So when you're in that energy, life just becomes honestly magical. In my experience, like I have noticed that when I'm just really in a place of gratitude, yeah, life just, it's lighter too. Like, and you'll notice a shift too, right? When you focus on things that you're actually grateful for, there's like this shift that happens in your body that you can feel. It's visceral. And so, yeah, I can't, I just definitely wanted to recommend that. Let's see if I had anything else in my notes. I think I topped on the main ones. Just, gratitude is awesome. Be grateful. especially right now. I know it can be tough. There's just so much going on in the world that it can be so easy to just focus on just, the negativity that's going on, the bad things that are going on. And it's not to say that those things aren't going on, but I feel the real power will come when we all really get into our own power and have that sense of gratitude and get connected with, source within us. And that will allow each of us to be in a place to actually do something about the issues that are in the world, right? Because if we're just focused on the problem, we're not going to be able to come up with the solutions, right? There's that quote by Einstein, you can't solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that it was created. So as we actually allow ourselves to get to a higher place of consciousness, then we can actually deal and find solutions that are to the greater good of everyone. And then also it allows us to be a light for others and to allow others to be able to come into that place within themselves and to get in touch with, the power that is within themselves and to do better things. Like I feel a lot of the problems in the world right now are just because people feel just so disempowered. And that's what causes people to lash out and be angry, because they feel powerless. And so I think the best way to get in touch with your power is to just really, really, really practice gratitude. All right, so let me get some shout outs here on this live. Hey, Luna, we got Luna in the house. we got here. The Sadistic Queen. Do you have a gratitude journal? I've gone on and off with them. So I have, like I mentioned, as practicing doing the magic, the book, I'm going through that. I need to do better with that. So I think they're very, very good, definitely. But yeah, that's something I definitely want to incorporate more into my life. I'm thinking about, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do another challenge with the writing out 10 things every day. Because it was some years ago back when I had did that, and that I found so much benefit from that. So definitely, I need to get back on that gratitude journal train. Let's see who else we got here. We got Lumi Lou. Hello from Sicily. Wow, Sicily. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Will you be doing a video on mantras and affirmations? I guess so. Why not? I will do that. I'll put some together and just kind of put together some of my favorite mantras and affirmations. I know I've shared some throughout these past lives, but I think it'd be cool to do a dedicated video. So you know what? Thank you for that recommendation, that question. So yes, I will put that together. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for the love that everyone's been sending me. I've been appreciating the positive feedback. Because again, putting oneself out there on the internet, it's an interesting feeling. Like I said before, even though my nerves get kind of going before these, I am choosing to interpret it as excitement. So it is cool that I get very excited from doing these lives and putting these together. So I appreciate so much just the love that's been coming in. And again, ask any questions that you have, any requests, and I'm planning to do these every day. My goal is 100 days, so today was day 9, so there's quite a few more to come. So any ideas would be much appreciated. And so thank you, and I love you. Have a good one.